One of the biggest voices in the fight to protect big cats joins us now. She gained public attention when she was featured in the 2020 Netflix documentary series Tiger King. Carol Baskin is founder of Big Cat Rescue. Welcome to BNC Live, Carol.
Thank you for having me, Laverne.
Glad to have you. Well, you became a household name overnight, but it did draw attention to the attraction that people have for big cats. But they're sometimes dangerous. So why are people so drawn to them?
There's a great film that just came out called The Conservation Game that actually tracks how this got started. And it was back in the 80s when people like Jack Hanna and Dave Salmoni would take these cute little tiger cubs and lion cubs onto the late night shows. And people saw that and thought, I want to be that guy. I want to be cool like that. And so it created this whole industry of people paying to have their pictures made with these cubs. But after they reach about 16 weeks, they can take a finger off, and that's when they end up being often just given away to people as pets. And then you end up with situations like what's happening in Houston right now.
Well, we need to say it, but why is it a bad idea to have these pets as a personal pet in your household?
I don't think big cats belong in cages, period. We need to be saving them in the wild. But these are cats that can be 500 to 750 pounds when they're full grown. They can roam hundreds of square miles. They can consume 60 pounds of flesh at a single feeding. These are not pets. These are apex predators that will kill you if they get half a chance.
So the Houston, Texas tiger is 9 months old. That sounds, obviously small, like a baby, but we know with cat years that's much different. So how does a typical big cat act at that age? Is it like a kitten, or is it really a killer animal?
It's both. So this cat being 9 months old would be the equivalent of about a 5-year-old person as far as how they are mentally. But this cat is probably 150 pounds already, and in the first year can be over 200 pounds. And so even if this cat is just playing, it can kill you because cats are made to take down their prey by grabbing it by the back of the neck with those humongous long fangs, which would go right through our spinal cord and kill a person instantly.
So the man who picked up that tiger in Houston, they're saying that he is a suspect in a murder case. He's out on bail. Should there be concerns on the part of law enforcement that he could use the cat as an attack animal against them or to harm other people?
This is actually frequently done by people who are in the drug industry. And what they'll do is turn the cats loose during a raid so that the police officers are dealing with lions or tigers that they think are adults, which are usually still kittens. And that way the drug dealers get out the back door with the drugs and the money. So the very fact that this person is keeping a big cat like this and allowed it to escape into a neighborhood tells you that this is the kind of person who doesn't care about their neighbors or the safety of anyone around them.
And what about you, Carol, now that you are a little bit less in the spotlight as you were when the Netflix show came out? You still keep big cats and you have a rescue. What are you up to these days?
We still have 48 cats at the sanctuary, but our hope is that when the federal bill passes, the Big Cat Public Safety Act, we think that'll pass this year. And hopefully within the next couple of years, the sanctuary will be able to wind down because the Big Cat Public Safety Act does two things. It bans cub petting and it phases out private ownership of big cats. And so if we don't have to rescue cats, then the cats who are currently in our care will die of old age, and this whole wretched industry will have finally come to an end.
Why is it so hard to get this legislation passed?
In December of last year, we passed the House with a 2/3 majority vote, and it was a bipartisan vote. But the Senate didn't call it up for a hearing in time, and we ran out of time at the end of the session. So we had to start over again in January of this year, and we currently have 170 co-sponsors in the House and 20 in the Senate. The problem is there's so many competing bills, and everybody knows 2020 was like a train wreck. So it's no wonder that it didn't pass last year. We really think that it can pass this year because it does have bipartisan support.
All right, Carol, we're out of time, but thank you so much for joining us, and nice to hear that you are still fighting for these animals all these years later. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Take care. And there's no